Take a close look at the map of America. Do you see the red, yellow, and the green zones? This map shows how soon the different areas of our country will be subjected to devastating climate catastrophes. The red areas represent zones that will be destroyed by disasters and become uninhabitable first. This could happen at any moment, but not later than 5 to 7 years from now. The yellow zones are places that will be destroyed somewhat later than the red zones. The green zones are the territories where livable conditions will persist the longest. Dear Americans, you're mature and intelligent individuals who can act as you see fit. However, considering the rapidly intensifying catastrophes, we recommend the following course of action. If you live in a red or yellow zone, sell your house or apartment and move to a green zone. While there's no mad rush and few people fully realize the impending catastrophes, you have a chance to sell your property at a good price. This is your opportunity to take care of yourself, your parents, and your children, ensuring their safety. If you have a business, consider relocating it or starting a new one in a green zone. However, when choosing a new business type, consider the rapidly changing climate conditions and the fact that your life, like the life of all the humanity, will no longer be the same. We'll talk more about the business in a bit. For now, let's delve into what your new home should be like and where it should be located to increase your chances of survival for you and your loved ones. If you're buying a house in a green zone, it should be a single-story building with a sturdy stone monolithic walls. High-rise buildings are susceptible to earthquakes and tornadoes. It may collapse. So, you should never buy an apartment in high-rise buildings or even two-story structures. If you decide to build a home, ensure it has a maximum of 1 floor above the ground, with all other floors constructed below the ground. Reinforce the house's foundation with concrete and strengthen the walls and roof. Buy or build homes away from high-rise buildings. Remember that if there are skyscrapers or even 5-story buildings near your house, they can be very dangerous. In the coming years, tornado-like hurricanes with speed up to 300 miles per hour will occur in our country. They will have tremendous force to shatter high-rise building into pieces. And these building fragments will destroy everything in their path, including your home. Given the inevitability of such hurricanes, avoid acquiring a building located on hillsides unprotected from the wind. It's better to buy or build a house between the hills, but under no circumstances should you choose a low-lying area to avoid flooding. These actions will help ensuring the safety of you and your family. Even if it extends your life and the lives of your loved ones just by 2 days more than your neighbors, it's significant. It's life, and it's worth it. As you know already, humanity has at most 5 to 7 relatively calm years left. But that doesn't mean that you have 5 to 7 years, because a catastrophic climate disaster can occur any day, even today. You're all grown up and intelligent people, and you understand that to save yourself and your loved ones, you must take action well in advance before panic sets in. Imagine what will happen if a climate catastrophe destroys even one region of our country right now. And what if it were the region where you live? Even if you're lucky enough to survive. Despite surviving, your home will be destroyed. Therefore, you won't be able to sell it, which means you won't be able to buy a new home in a safer zone either. So, act now while you still have the opportunity. As you understand, there are no indications that the climate will start calming down and start improving. The situation will only worsen. Now, let's move on to the business. This is an essential aspect because even if you move to a safe area, you'll still need something to live on and feed your family. Dear Americans, right now, we're giving you information that will help you to preserve your capital. While few currently understand the catastrophic events that will soon affect the most countries worldwide, including America, you have the opportunity, unlike others, to preserve your assets and reorient your business. Because your assets are not just your wealth, but also America's wealth. If we become impoverished, our country will too. By taking care of your capital, we can maintain the dominant position of our great nation. Right now, we will name the territories and specific countries that will be destroyed by the natural disasters sooner than others. Dear Americans, if you work, collaborate with, or your business depends on these countries, reconsider your relationship with them no matter how advantageous they may seem. The first countries that will cease to exist in the next 5 to 7 years are Japan, China, India, Italy, the United Kingdom, and the countries in the Arabian Peninsula. This is due to the geological structure of these territories and their vulnerability to climate disasters. All other countries will survive a little longer, but ultimately, they will face the same fate. Today, China is the second largest economic entity in the world, an important member, producer, and investor in the current international system. Due to the increasing growth and frequency of climate disasters, China is already on the brink of economic crisis that could have unpredictable consequences for the entire global community. If the Chinese economy and industry collapse, global trade and production will face significant challenges. In many sectors of global production, there will be a collapse. Therefore, if you have an international investments and stocks in companies with production located in China, consider divesting them. You're intelligent people, and you can see what already is happening in China. You understand well that soon there will be no economy, no industry, and no China itself. In the near future, there will be only 2 small green zones in China where a very small number of people can reside. Another country that will be devastated by the climate disasters in the near future is the United Arab Emirates. Despite the vital role this country plays in international trade, the development of science and innovative technologies, keeping your assets there will be simply unprofitable. The entire territory of the United Arab Emirates will soon turn into an empty desert. The same fate awaits all other countries on the Arabian Peninsula. Look what is already happening in this region. This trend will worsen, and soon, everything that emerged from the sand will return into the sand. Given the geometric progression of disasters in this region, which will only worsen, we would recommend withdrawing investments from this region and divesting of all real estates while it is still valuable. Dear Americans, if your business is somehow dependent on these countries, China, Japan, India, Italy, the United Kingdom, and the countries of the Arabian Peninsula, end your contracts, or you will lose your investments and income. If you value your money, get rid of the real estate in these countries while it can still be sold at a premium price, and while there's still something to sell. It is better to develop your business exclusively in green zones of America and other countries. Such businesses will survive and continue to generate profits in the face of climate collapse. Even a small-scale production of essential goods in green zone will remain relevant. Focus on businesses related to essential goods that will be needed in survival conditions. Acquire what you won't lose. Even if you own the world's richest and hottest international corporation, very soon, it won't do you any good. It is better to own the production of essential goods in a green zone than to control all the oil in the world right now. Soon, it won't be needed by anyone. You will see that more than 90% of the global production will cease to exist in 5 to 7 years. This trend has already started this year. However, we have not yet felt it because the halted factories have been replaced by the others. But soon, there will be no one and nothing to replace them because, due to climate cataclysms, the entire global production and the world economy will soon be destroyed. As for European countries, it's also not advisable to rely on them. We're closely studying the risks in this region right now. Perhaps, at our next forum, we will discuss this topic in more detail. For now, the most important thing is to assess all the risks and choose the best path for the development of your business. If you don't want to close your business in areas that will be destroyed in the near future, at least sell your properties and lease them instead. This will be much more advantageous for you. Keep in mind that in a few years, or even sooner, once people start realizing the seriousness of the situation, there will be a frenzy. You won't be able to sell or buy anything. But for now, while many are still in a doubt or unaware of the impending changes, you can easily preserve your assets and redirect your business. When reorienting your business, consider that some industries will be the first to collapse. First and foremost, we recommend avoiding businesses related to IT technologies, electronics, telecommunications, television, and electric vehicles. These sectors are particularly vulnerable because they rely on electricity. In the face of the cataclysms that await us, there won't be any hope of having electricity. You're intelligent people, and you understand well that electrical vehicles will just become worthless junk under the conditions ahead. So, any business connected to electric vehicles is already doomed to failure. You understand that the more climate disasters occur, the more people will actively abandon electric cars, realizing their impracticality. Stock prices will plummet, and companies will face ruin. Therefore, if you have stocks in electric vehicle manufacturing, it's better to sell them while they're still valuable to naive individuals. You're savvy people, and you probably know that there's nothing more reliable than traditional gasoline engines. Diesel is even better. With disrupted power lines, you won't get enough electricity for a car. However, if you bury a couple of gasoline barrels in your yard, you can use them as a fuel for your vehicle. You'll be able to stay mobile and move as you need it. You can't pour electricity into a canister, and solar energy won't suffice, especially considering the limited number of sunny days. So, now is the time to sell a business connected to these industries or stocks invested in them, and invest your resources in a company that will thrive in the harshest conditions. Invest in a business that will always be in demand and close to your home in a green zone with a good protection. Don't delay making this decision because you may miss the opportunity that you still have. Winter is ahead, and it will make itself felt. People hope there won't be significant disasters in the winter, but there will be. So seize your opportunities without causing panic and calmly secure a reliable business, safeguard your capital, and move to a green zone. Let's now talk about money. How to keep your finances safe in a deteriorating economy. Firstly, remember that all the money you have in bank accounts stored as digital numbers can cease to be yours at any moment, meaning it could become inaccessible to you. That also applies to any cryptocurrency. Why? Because when electricity disappears, all electronic money disappears with it. You won't be able to use them, and there will be no way to prove that you ever owned any funds in virtual electronic accounts. As you already know, the electromagnetic field of our planet is critically weakening, which means our protection from dangerous radiation, such as from the sun, is diminishing. All electronic devices on Earth will fail if there's a significant solar flare. Today, we cannot say when exactly this will happen, whether this year, next year, or 4 years from now. But we confidently assert that it will happen. No electricity means no internet, no communications, not even satellite communication. And all your savings in bank accounts, all electronic money, all your stocks and securities will instantly become worthless. Will paper money have value in such conditions? The answer is no, considering the collapsed economy, destroyed banks, and the absence of any financial regulatory mechanisms. So, what will be valued? That which you can hold in your hands, that which you can exchange for food, water, and essential items. That which will not lose its value until its very end. And only one thing can meet all these criteria: gold. Historically, our psychology is wired to value gold. This is a well-known fact. When Christopher Columbus first encountered Native Americans in the Americas, they didn't have money, but by that time, they already respected and valued gold. It was already a form of trade for them. They were unfamiliar with European culture, where gold also held significant value. This tells us that regardless of culture, valuing gold is inherited in us as humans in our genes. Therefore, until the last breath of humanity, the only valuable metal for exchange will likely be gold. Not silver, not diamonds, not gems, not expensive paintings. Please don't fall for these baubles. There are too many of them in the world, and no one will need them. Only gold will be a stable currency until the end. Understanding this, the very first thing you need to do right now is to exchange all your stocks, cryptocurrencies, electronic deposits, and savings for a real tangible gold as soon as possible. Because if you have gold, you'll have the means to provide yourself, your family with food, water, and all the essentials. No paper bills, no matter which country they belong to, will help you in this situation. Only gold. After buying gold, the most important thing is not to store it in a safe of any bank, especially in a red or yellow zone. Otherwise, consider it no longer your gold. Your gold is the gold that is stored at the very least in a bank located in a green zone. And the most secure option is to keep gold a well-built safe buried at a depth of 6 to 7 meters in the basement of your own house, securely reinforced and located in the green zone. Then, you can sleep peacefully, knowing that you have gold that belongs to you, which can feed your family, extend your life. Remember, only what's at your hand will truly be yours. What to do if you don't have the means to purchase gold today? First, at the very least, acquire physical cash. The most crucial step is to withdraw your finances from electronic forms. Remember that what's stored in electronic bank accounts in a red zone is not truly yours. It can disappear at any moment. What you have in gold within your reach in a green zone is yours. Anything in a red zone will be lost. Even what may be in a yellow zone will no longer be yours. If you can convert your financial assets into gold, start by getting rid of any stocks. Suppose you hold stocks in large corporations, especially those related to high-risk countries, China, Japan, Italy, India, and the United Kingdom, and countries in the Arabian Peninsula. In that case, the best thing you can do is sell the stocks of these corporations and buy gold. It is crucial to start doing it right now. Why? As the destruction from the global catastrophes escalates, an increasing number of people will come to understand and see what we're talking about, recognizing the real economic breakdown and assessing the risk of losses. Naturally, people will begin by selling off stocks in all companies, and prices will plummet. At the same time, gold will experience a colossal price surge because of all the increasing demand and frenzy surrounding it. Therefore, within just 5 years, your stocks may allow you to buy 100 times less gold than you can buy today. This is why we emphasize the need for immediate action, while the general public may not fully grasp the seriousness of the situation, while your stocks are still valuable, and while the price of the gold has not yet skyrocketed. Seize this moment, sell your stocks, and buy gold. Is it better to have 200 grams of gold in your pocket or in your safe in the green zone than even $1 million share in a company like Apple? It may seem like an uneven exchange, but that's how it may seem for now. However, when Apple disappears in the near future, along with all its billion-dollar assets and shares, everyone will realize that it was way better to sell Apple shares earlier. And if you're the CEO of Apple, it is better to abandon the sinking ship, sell your shares, and buy real gold and land in the green zone with that money. Better yet, acquire a herd of cows and have an ability to trade meat and milk. Given the increasing progression of climate catastrophes, this will be the best decision for the present. Soon, it will be better to be the owner of the herd of cows in the green zone than the owner of Apple or the head of JP Morgan in the red zone, where everything will disappear. Therefore, dear Americans, when considering what to do with your financial assets, remember this. If you have 200 grams of gold left, it's much better than billions of invested in large successful corporations. That's because with gold in your pocket, you'll be able to buy beef from your neighbor, the former head of Apple, who had the wisdom to get land in the green zone and a herd of cows to sell meat and milk. Funny. It may seem so now, but in the future, he will be alive, unlike the rest, because he is smart.